Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul.
They're gonna run out of cheeseheads soon.
The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What is poppin', y'all? It's your man Cloudboy Bales, and welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports Weekly. Today's episode, I feel like, before I kind of get to today's episode, there's been kind of some things that have bothered me, bothered me. I don't need to, put it's hard to really say these things, because the amount of harassment and bullying that I have seen online from the Wisconsin sports fan base is just terrible. I mean, it's like people are such sore losers that they don't understand that these people that are playing are human beings. I don't understand why people are the way they are, but the amount of stuff that I saw, especially this weekend with this Badger game, was absolutely sickening. And you guys are so absolutely disheartened that you want to make these comments about what's sad that's going on in sports. Oh, and you make a hissy fit that your team loses a game. I mean, we're literally living in this country, living our lives watching sports, and the best thing that you can do as a sports fan is complain. And it's just obnoxious to me. Like, I love supporting this. I love making videos. I love doing all these things. But the amount of comments that I see online, people already even giving up on the Badgers. I mean, yeah, I get they lost the quarterback of the season. I get it. But come on. This is a new coach taking over, and already people are demanding him getting fired. It's absolutely ridiculous. Same thing with the Packers. I mean, people are, demanding that everyone gets fired after one game or after one play. The amount of overreaction from any sports fan is beyond ridiculous to me. I mean, it's looking at it from the Brewers, it's like everyone's hoping Counsell leaves at this point. I don't know what to say. I mean, if you really think that this is the biggest priority and your problem is your sports teams aren't winning, take a look around you on what's going on in the world right now. And think to yourself, is that really a big deal to be a big baby about your team losing? When literally there are people losing their lives in Israel and Palestine right now? That's all I'm going to say. Think about that. I don't want to get into this anymore because this is a video that I'm not trying to get political. I don't get political with videos. This isn't about politics. This is about real life. So please, let's think positive and stop being so stupid on the internet when something doesn't go your way. I mean, sports fan bases are so stupid. Now, anyways, today's video, I want to talk Packers. I have not made videos the last 2 weeks because I've been busy. I've had a lot going on in my life. I started, obviously, working a lot. I had to take some shifts. I never had time to make videos. I didn't even make a weekly Wednesday prediction last week. I just made it into a short because that's how busy I was. I didn't have my laptop. I mean, it was, obviously, I had to give it to my mom needed it, so she had it, so, because she needed it for some reason, so I just let her have it to be nice. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to make any videos. There were 2 games, obviously, the last 2 weekends. The one against the Lions, that was a bad loss. Terrible loss, but looking at it, same thing. This is a young team. They can move on. And then we lose to the Raiders, a team that realistically I think we should have beat, but it is what it is. I'm not going to get too down on myself about this. Things happen in life. But anyways, I want to obviously give my intake because, this was the bye week. The Packers didn't have anything going on. And from the looks of it, I wanted to be like, okay, let's just talk this Packers, So here's what my intake is. Jordan Love started out very strong, and in the last 2 weeks, we definitely started to see the struggles come out. After that the Saints game was that comeback win. They looked dominant, and then after that, after the Lions game, they just simply didn't really seem to have it, especially last week against the Raiders where Love threw 3 interceptions. I feel like, I'm not necessarily adamant on Love's, but the problem is I feel like LaFleur is holding him back. And now I'm starting to see why Rodgers changed the play on the offense multiple times, because I just don't really believe that LaFleur's play calling is that good. Like, we're starting to really see that. And I feel like I get our offensive coordinator, some guy who was an offensive lineman coach, and I'm not going to really sit there and say, is that going to really change anything? LaFleur's got it. I feel like we need to see more out of LaFleur when it comes to play calling. I feel like if Love is going to develop into this quarterback that we really believe in, I feel like, most importantly, we really need to see that. Now, for the looks of it, the Lions, I think, are going to win the division. They really are going to run away with it. Chicago looks really bad this season. The Vikings are off to a really slow start. And, we, I think, are in the middle of this as well. I don't think, with this team, they're not winning a Super Bowl. I think it's clear as day we're not going to win a Super Bowl because this is Love's first year as a starter. Rodgers struggled in his first year as a starter, too. We only went 6-10. I mean, I feel like everyone's automatically acting like it's the end of the world over, 2 bad losses. They had a bye week. They could get some things fixed up. Like if the Packers, for example, lose to Denver next week, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, we're screwed. Because look at Denver. They look terrible. But, if you think about things, I think deep down, we gotta have a rebound. We gotta rebound. We gotta think. We gotta look positive, and then we can win games. I don't think we're that bad of a team. 2, we were basically without Aaron Jones for a majority of these games. We didn't have Aaron Jones. He went out after that Bears game, and then after that, it was like we didn't have Jones. I mean, we didn't have Jones for almost the entirety. He played in the Lions game, but you could clearly tell he was still not himself, and that's why they held him back in the next week. But it's great. I think they rested him enough. I think he definitely should be back to strength to start next time. Hopefully Campbell's back too. We also lost Quay Walker and Darnell Savage partially in that game last week. Injuries were kind of a problem so far to start the season. Literally, I mean, I gotta be real. I feel like our defense isn't that bad. Our play calling, I think, is what is holding this defense back. I feel like Joe Barry's just such a basic defensive coordinator. He really isn't the guy that's going to change this defense for the better. I don't know, because like I said, I feel like it's a mistake. And now starting to see what we saw for LaFleur, I don't know if I'm believing he is the coach that that we claim he is. Not having Rodgers does seem like it, but yet again, this was just a start. I don't want to rip on anybody because I feel like, yes, 2 back-to-back losses that were sucky really shouldn't have happened. And I don't think that there should be anybody complaining. I'm like, what did everybody expect from this season? I don't think anyone expected us to make the playoffs this season. Even if maybe they turn this thing around and they start playing better. I mean, we have guys on the defense that can do things. Rashawn Gary is looking great. Kenny Clark's looking great. You got one of the best corners in the league in Jair Alexander. I mean, you're going to win games. You're going to lose games. But I wish this bye week was later on so I could actually do a full analysis on the first half of the season, because only being 5 games in, I feel like it's too early to really tell if something is legitimate or not. 2, you know what? If the Packers, and 2, likely it will be only 1 first-round pick this year. It's so funny. They're already saying that Rodgers will likely be back this season. And it's laughable to me. This man tore his Achilles And then all y'all are saying is, oh, he looks like he's on track to be back this year. I don't even get this anymore. Like, what do people really care about? Like, yeah, like, he can throw because he's a quarterback, but yeah, you got to move around. I mean, I don't get this at all. But deep down, you know, I'm just gonna be straightforward. Let's just let everything go. We'll be back. We'll be back next week. We lose the game. We lose the game. And you know what? The most important thing to do in life is just to learn from your mistakes. That's what I do when I make a mistake. If there's a mistake in life, we move on. And if you hate it, if you hate what I'm saying, I'm sorry, but it's true words. Deep down, things gotta be better, but I think things will work out in the end. But that's all I'm gonna say, because I feel like there's really not much to talk about in this instance. But as I said before, it's not the end of the world when you lose a game. You know, that's life. If you like what you see, comment below, subscribe with your thoughts, and as always, we will see you next time. Go Pack Go.